Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my, is it called a semifinal? So our last update for my 2025 rolling project pan before we have our finale at the end of the year. I have no idea where time went. I feel like it was just the summertime and the fall just kind of blew by. But here we are at the beginning of December and I do have some exciting progress and one rollout for my project pan. I don't know if I'm going to roll something else in. I will have to see how I feel as we go along, but as of sitting down and starting this video, I don't have a roll in, but we will see where that goes. So for my rolling 10 pan, this is my completionist project pan. So everything that I roll in, I have the goal or the intent to finish. Now, if that's possible, that is up for debate, but otherwise I have some really great updates for you guys. So if you want to see how I'm doing with my project pan, see our last update before the finale, and see what product I was able to use up, stick around. We're going to get into my rolling 10 pan right now. All right, so we are looking at my rolling 10 pan, and before I get into any of it, I want to just say how flipping astounded I am that my goal starting back in like September or something, I was like, hey, it'd be really cool if I could hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think I needed like 100 more or something like that. And like October like crept by and like I wasn't really seeing the numbers. I was like, well, you know what? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I was completely fine with it. Well, you guys blew it out of the park because not only did I hit 3,000 subscribers the other day, oh goodness gracious, the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday text messages are still rolling in, but not only did I hit 3,000 the other day, I'm now sitting at 3,070. Like, that is about like 60 to 70, no, more than that, because I wasn't at, that's probably 80 people that have subscribed to my channel in the past like 48 hours. And part of me is sitting here scratching my head. The imposter syndrome is setting in. And I'm like, why are you guys watching me? Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, who are you people? But I am grateful that you're here, and you guys will have to forgive the imposter syndrome that sits in for a little while. But I am just blown away, thankful, all of those things that I have this little corner of my internet that is growing and that you guys are liking what I'm putting out. So I do appreciate you guys. So many people really liked my repressing video and just showing how I make my products work for me, how I kind of refresh some of my Franken products for the end of the year. You guys really enjoyed that. So maybe I'll have to do like a mid-year one along the way as well. But you guys know that I am always making sure that my products work for me and I'm getting my money's worth. So let's go ahead and switch off of that. But like I said, I've just been watching the number over the past like 24 to 48 hours and literally sitting here going, what is happening? Who are these people? Why are they watching me? So, but maybe you're watching me because I use my dang products. So let's roll into first my empty. So this one should not be a surprise. I predicted this one, but it's a very satisfying empty, and that is my Kosas Cloud Set Powder. And maybe you guys watch me because I give you the numbers and the realistic numbers as far as how long it takes you to use up your products. So this is completely empty. Look at this thing. Of course, there's like powder in the rings. It is done. It is done. And my lid survived. Barely, but my lid survived. So for this one, last month we were at 69.81. Empty, we're at 69.34. So I only needed 13 more uses, but of course I didn't do my math. Let me do my math real quick. I should be able to do this in my head, but you know, dyslexia and stuff. So 0.47. I needed less than half a gram of use on this. I did use it in 13 uses. Now, overall uses for this product. And I've told you guys every single time that I've kind of done my update for this product in particular, I used it on my under eyes. So I used it to set my under eye and then a little bit down the side. So kind of this triangle. Now I did have this in candy. So this was the pink powder. And for a total, it was 233 uses to empty this out of me just using a powder puff and just setting that little part of my under eyes. I did not set my whole face with this. I did not use it with a brush. I used it with a powder puff. 233 uses. So I did buy this last year. I bought it during the VIB sale during 2024. So I bought this November 5th, 2024, and I started using it. So I had 28 uses on it rolling into 2025. So my guess is that I used it through most of November and December, and then I used it up on November 20th. So I got pretty much a year worth of use out of this one as an under eye setting powder, and I do love this. So maybe whenever I talk about my possible roll-ins, I'll tell you guys about the next pink powder that I was going to roll in, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty with it. So I'll bring that up at the end of the video. But this is definitely something I would repurchase and something that might, maybe 95% sure this is going to be on my repurchase list when Sephora does their 20% for everybody, probably in the next week. Because they usually send it out at the beginning of December. So this one I can definitely see coming back to my collection, but I want to tell you guys about my other pink powder near the end of this video. I sprayed the Marc Jacobs Absolute perfume on myself before I sat down to film, and I just smell so good, and I'm enjoying myself. So we had 233 uses on the Kosas powder, so that is definitely a wonderful bang for your buck, especially because, so I did get that for $30.60 last year during the 15% off because I haven't been Rouge in years. But for a $30 powder, I think that I did really good with getting a year's worth of use off of that one. Now we can roll into my normal products that we have been tracking for the majority of the year and the things that we've kind of rolled in along the way. And you guys would have seen this one in my repressing video. And so that is my Tarte highlighting palette. And you guys saw that I kind of changed up shade 2 to be a little bit more of what I want out of it, and I am so happy that I did. It is such a better shade than what it was just with Moonstone in there. So this is what we're looking like. Obviously, I added product to this palette, so our weight did go up by a little bit, but of course, I put up my little graphic that shows you guys how many times I used each pan so far this year and how many times I used each pan in November. You guys always see that graphic pop up, but this is what we're looking like. We're still getting really great use on these pans. And again, this one here, pan number 3, I might need to repress this one going into 2026. So we will have to see how that one goes. Or I talked to you guys about maybe repressing the entire palette and kind of starting with a clean slate rolling into 2026, just so we can see me hit pan on these again. Let me know. I mean, I don't know if I'll film it because bless it. And I know you guys are like, film shorts. And I was like, I don't have time for that, because even though it's like a minute-long video, there's still setup time and angles and making sure you're in frame and doing the voiceover and doing the editing. So while you're seeing a minute-long video, there's like 30 minutes or more of time that goes into that, and I just don't have time for that. So we might just see that I repress this kind of in the background, but you guys have a very comprehensive repressing video from me. You actually have 2 now. So we might not see me repress this, but let me know if you guys want to see me like repress everything to start with the clean slate rolling into 2026. So again, for our weights, it's going to fluctuate because I added product to it, but we were at 116.04 last month. We're at 116.27. So I added 0.23 grams to the palette after the use that I already had for November. So we will have more accurate numbers again starting in next month and definitely starting in 2026, because I don't think I plan to add any other highlighter powder to this palette. I'm just going to use it in its current form. So we're looking at that. The next item that I am continuing to work on is the ColourPop lip liner in Brink. This is the Never Ending lip liner. Never ending, but we are getting closer and closer to that mark that I have there. Of course, you guys see my graphics pop up with my little tally marks in my book. I think I sharpened this maybe once this month, but I was at 4.27 last month and I'm at 4.17 now. So 0.10 is my total weight change. And again, that doesn't seem like a lot, and that's actually kind of like half of what I'm used to, but I only did my makeup 18 times in November, which is saying a lot because I only worked 12 days. So that means that I did my makeup 6 additional times, probably while I was filming, but I did my makeup 6 additional times during the month of November, but I was not working a whole lot in November. So the majority of the time when I'm doing my makeup, it's because I'm going to work. So we have steady use on that one, but again, this one has lasted forever. I am super excited to get into starting to use my other lip liner. I'm kind of getting tired of Brink. It is more warm toned, which is not necessarily what I'm wearing right now, because I did use Good and Plenty on my lips today. So I dipped into that one because the warm tone of Brink would not have gone with this lip and eye combo. But definitely when I do more of my earth tones with my other palettes back there, Brink is very appropriate. But I am going to be very happy to see it leave my collection as an empty probably sometime in January, if I can cross my fingers for that. But let's roll into my next item, which is the Say Super Glowy Gel. You guys know I have to check. Glowy Super Gel. I'm never going to say it right, but you guys know what I mean. It doesn't make any sense for it to be Glowy Super Gel. Super Glowy Gel. That feels better rolling off the tongue. So we have it in Star Glow. This one has the bag in it, so it's the airless pump, but you guys can see all the product is down in the bottom of that bag, but the rest of the bag is very much pinched in. So with this one, we are looking at our weight changes, and I don't think that this will be a total empty by the end of the year, but this will definitely be close, and you guys will see what I ended up doing as kind of the replacement slash repurchase of this one for 2026, because I love having a glowy product to mix in with my foundations, and because this is a more gel consistency, it is actually really, really nice for my oily skin. So this is absolutely stunning. It sinks right in. It just adds that little bit of glow, which I want to my products. It is lovely. I have no notes, have already repurchased, but you guys will see what I did in my buys and buys coming up, which, good Lord, my buys and buys for November, strap in. Strap in. If I had been saving my budget for the entire year, it is because I just blew it in November. Put it that way. But for our Say Super Glowy Super Gel, welcome to my life. I was at 129.95 last month, used it 18 times, so 128.35, used 1.6 grams of this, which is consistent with that amount of usage. If I'm doing my makeup more often, like in the 20s range, then I will use about 2 grams of this, but we were pretty much on par because I did my makeup 18 times in October and kind of had the same usage. So that is what we're looking like with this one. Like I said, hopefully we will have some more empties by the end of the year, but some of these products are just kind of like squeaking along. But hey, I'm getting use on them, and that's the whole point of this project and really the point of my channel. But let's look at my shadow stick. And this is the ColourPop shadow stick in So Celestial. So Celestial. Words, Erin. It is just this beautiful, and it's going to go on top of that Say product, but it is just a beautiful antique bronze type of shade. I don't understand this. And of course, I think it comes down to whether or not I am sharpening it or not is where the weight changes. But I used it 8 times for 0.01, 1/100th of a gram. So we were at 11.33 last month. Now we're at 11.32. That is where we're at. Again, I have no delusions that I'm going to finish this because I literally only use it as an eyeliner and to kind of darken up my lash line on the outer corner if it's an appropriate shade for the eye look. I was just curious to roll it in and see what I could actually do on it. Now I know what I can actually do on it is like nothing. So I am not being delusional with myself. But let's look at my foundation. So this is the Urban Decay Face Bond. I have it in shade 2, and we can see we have some beautiful windowing. And like I said, starting next year, I am going to go ahead and mark it, but the center of the product is a lot lower than where the actual product is on the side of the component. So with this one, like if I had to say, like scooting everything down, I may be down to there, which is slightly lower than the line on the actual plastic. So again, not going to be an empty. I didn't think it was going to be an empty, but we will definitely roll this into 2026 and we will see this as an empty very shortly after then, which I almost bought the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation today because again, it's like 35% off, but I still have enough foundation in my collection to last me until next Black Friday. So I was like, Erin, you don't need to buy a foundation if you have enough foundations to last you the year. So I did not buy that foundation. But for this one that we're working on, last month I was at 32.75. Now I'm at 31.38. Used it 18 times for 1.4 grams of use on this one. Again, not doing my makeup as much, but for 18 uses, the 1.4 is very close to what I had last month when I also had 18 uses. For mood exposure, so we're looking at my blush. Hourglass Mood Exposure. This one here, again, it's beautiful. I have it on my cheeks today. Anytime that I do a purple look, I'm going to reach for this. Like I've told you guys last time that I am starting to like concave in the product, especially right up here on this side because that's mainly where my brush is. And so like over here is higher than back over here, but that's okay. With this one here, what did I do? I didn't do So Hot. And again, I have a lot of blushes rolled into my Project 10 uses right now. But for this one here, we were at 46.09. Now I'm at 45.94. I only used it 4 times for 0.15 grams. So I'm even curious, and maybe I'll have to do these numbers in like the finales of looking at the products that are rolling into 2026. I want to see how many times I used them in this project and how much my weight changed with those uses. And then I can maybe get like an average of like how many grams per use I got, you know, on average. Because if you think about this, oh God, the writing is so small. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it. Made in Italy. Y'all, the 41-year-old eyes are getting to me. 4.2 grams. So there's only 4.2 grams of product in this, and I've had it since 2017, so of course it has use on it. But if I think about 4.2 grams, in the long run of 4 uses got me 0.15 grams, like again, I want to know the numbers. How many more times do I need to use this blush to get it used up? And the answer is a lot. So we will still keep kind of plucking away at this one and using that one. It is a very beautiful, and like I said, I love it. It's on my cheeks today. It is a beautiful shade. I love it on my skin tone. I am just ready to see some movement on those products, but I also know that I usually only pan about 1 blush per year just because it does take such a long time to get through your blushes. So do I need any more blushes? Absolutely not. Do blushes constantly tempt me? 1000%. So we're sitting with that. We can roll into my bronzer though. So the NARS Laguna, and we are expanding our pan. Now, what happened, what I see on my side is all of this up here kind of chipped off. So it got so thin in there that when I was in there with my brush, that little part up there ended up chipping off. But we are still expanding the pan. We are still getting this product super thin, especially down at the bottom. This one I will probably repress at the end of the year just so that I'm starting 2026 with a fresh pan. We can hit pan again. We can get all that product to the center of the pan again and get more use on Laguna. But with this one, last month we were at 70.81. Now we're at 69.73. I used it 19 times because if you guys know, during my repressing video, I told you guys that I did a no makeup look. So I still put on my bronzer, but I just did not wear foundation, and it's just about to start raining. It is such a gloomy winter day today, and it makes me want to do nothing. So I ended up getting an additional use on my bronzer because I did that no makeup look where I didn't actually use my foundations. So for this one, like I said, we had 19 uses for 1.08 grams of use. And I will say that 1.08 is before this product flaked off because I'm filming this on the 1st. So I weighed all of my products prior to doing my makeup today, just so I could have an accurate, like, end of November, this is where we're at. And then while I was doing my makeup today, that is where that bronzer flaked off. So we will have differences in weight because of the great flake off of December 2025 in Laguna. But we will continue to work with this. This one, I think I told you guys that I'm predicting it'll be an empty at the end of January or at the very beginning of February. We will end up being done with NARS Laguna, and that will be a nice accomplishment and pat on my back. A product that I've had no trouble reaching for is my Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Hot Cocoa. Like, it's actually rubbed off. Like, that's how much I've used it. The lettering has actually started to rub off of it. But look at this. Look at how pinched in we are compared to last month. So this has been living on my bedside. So basically anytime that I want to put something on my lips and I'm sitting in bed, I'm reaching for this, which is a lot because I love my bed. My bed is my favorite place to be. I'm reaching for this a lot. If we're looking at our weights, the weights will confirm that, but we were at 18.29 last month. We're at 13.54 now, so 4.75. So almost 5 grams of product I was able to get done. Now, will this be an empty by the end of the year? It's a great possibility. I will keep working on it. I will keep it by my bedside, and we will see how far we can get with my lip butter balm, because like I said, I do have my cherry one rolled into my 26 and 2026, so that one is the one that I want to track starting January. Otherwise, our last product we had in here was my e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, and let me actually try to get it where the air is out and we can see how much product is actually left in here. So I'm getting to that point where I'm squeezing, so we have very little product left in here. I have actually found, my husband texted me, he took our truck in for service and he was just letting me know that he got there. But through this project and through using this a little bit more consistently, I've found a respect for this. When I first bought it and first started using it, I bought it on Andy's recommendation. And at first I was like, I don't really see the hype. I don't see like the difference, but I've found that I do like this. Now, what is my calic doing? Do you guys see like what I have to deal with my, look at that. It just stands up on its own, all on its own. Calics in the back of my head. Can't live with them. So at first I was like, I don't see the point. I love my e.l.f. Jelly Pop primers. Like, holy grail, love those. But like I said, I've started to like this. And like my makeup actually looks really good when I use this. It somehow also helps with like longevity. So even though it's not like a sticky primer, I think it sets up a good enough base that my makeup still looks good at the end of the day. It is so weird that, I don't know, I think I just had to use this like multiple days in a row before I was like, okay, this actually does something. But I am curious to see once this is done, because I believe this will be an empty at the end of the year, how many uses I actually got out of this primer, because compared to my Jelly Pops that I know I get like 67-ish uses out of them, I'm curious how many uses I get out of this. But as far as our weight changes, we were at 23.55. Now we're at 20.47. I used it 10 times so 10 out of the 18 times that I did my makeup, I was using this. I was trying to be consistent. So 10 times for 3.08 grams of use. So I use quite a bit of product because I do put this all over my face. If I'm going to prime my face, I'm going to prime my face. I have pores and wrinkles and acne scars all over my face. So if I'm going to put on my makeup, I'm going to do it everywhere. I know a lot of people just will spot primer that one. No, it went all over. So that is how I was using that one. And like I said, I believe that will be an empty at the end of the year. So let's talk about the other pink powder that I have. So this is the Nakia Joy Velvet, what is this called? Velvet Brightening Powder Pressed. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I have used this about 4 times. The issue that I'm having with this one is that anytime that I am using this product, my skin burns. And I don't understand it because I'm not even putting this on my bare skin because I'm setting my makeup. So I will have all of my skincare, all of my concealer, primer, foundation, like I will have everything on. I will go to set my face with this powder and it makes my skin burn. I don't know what it is. The Velvet Finishing Powder Loose is my favorite holy grail. I just bought 3 of them during Black Friday. Like, I love that powder. I just don't understand why the pressed one would cause my skin to not feel good. Now, I will say my skin has been extra sensitive this past week. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why, but my skin has been very sensitive this past week. So I do want to try this again, but it was burning to the point that I had to like take something and like fan my face until the burning went away. Which again, the burning does go away, but still, a powder product shouldn't burn your face. And I say burn as in a sensation, not a burn as it's actually like leaving like a chemical burn or something. I just feel that like, again, like when you put on like an AHA, like that kind of like feeling of being warm and itchy and just that, again, that irritated feeling. That is what I'm feeling, but it's not actually like chemical burning my skin. Either way, I don't know why this is doing that. So I'm going to test it out again once I kind of get my skin barrier under control, and then I will see what I can do. My coworkers are texting on our group chat because it's one of my coworkers' birthdays today. I will have to text her back and say happy birthday to her. But that is why my phone is going off. So as far as bringing another product in, what do I want to do? Because again, I have a blush, I have a bronzer, I have a foundation, I have everything that I would need. I just don't know. Like the only thing I can think of is to bring in another lip product, but also I have this lip product. Let me rifle through my drawers real quick and see if there's anything else that I want to bring in just for the next month to track our usage and kind of progress on that item. Let's do this because it'll be easy, and I don't know if it'll be an empty at the end of the year, but we will be super close. But let's do a concealer because I do have nice windowing on this concealer. So this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo, but This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo mixed in with my Estee Lauder concealer. The Estee Lauder concealer was too dry for me, even though I am oily, I am 41 years old. It was too dry. And again, my calic, does it bother you guys as much as it bothers me? Like, is this my own insecurities that are coming through with my calic in the back of my head? Probably. You guys probably don't even notice it unless I tell you about it. But this is a mix of two concealers, and I do have, like I said, I put half back into the Estee Lauder component. I put half into here. But we do have some really nice windowing on this one, so I am just going to track this. If this isn't empty by the end of the year, awesome. But also I will end up emptying the rest of the Estee Lauder into this one because I prefer this component over the Estee Lauder component. So I just want to see how much I can get empty of this, and then I will refill it at the beginning of 2026 with the rest of the concealer from that mixture. So we're going to track the concealer. I will take pictures, I'll take measurements, you guys will see my graphic popping up. I'll put a little line of nail polish like where our windowing is, just so we can see where the windowing moves, but this will be fun. We will start with this. Let me actually grab my scale just so I can tell you guys now what our weight is. And we are starting with 28.67. So we will see how long it takes to get through my concealer. So that will be our 10th item. And that is what I have for my rolling 10 pan. I feel super good about these things. The fact that I've been able to expand the pans so much on my highlighting palette is insane to me. I even repressed shade 2 sometime in the middle of the year because the pan got so big in it. So shade 2 in my brain, I almost feel like shade 2 would be an empty if I had not like added stuff to it, but adding stuff to it was always my prerogative, like it was always my plan. So yeah, I feel really good about this. The fact that I have a huge freaking pan on NARS Laguna, I'm going to be finishing another primer by the end of the year. This is looking real good. I know in my repressing video, I had talked to you guys about doing a video where I kind of like show you my organization and kind of go through my inventory. Of course, I will have an end of the year inventory, but as far as if you guys want to see how I track, or not track, but how I store my things and how I kind of like keep up with things, definitely I can do a little video. Maybe that one can go up as like a bonus video sometime during the month. I can definitely knock one of those out for you guys as well. But I am feeling really good about using these products. And not only that, but I'm using products that I brought into my collection last year. They're getting used this year. Now, of course, my overall goal would be to use products within the same year that they're brought in, but because I do so much shopping during November to get things on sale, typically I am buying in November for the next year. So that is always my plan, to get things on sale. I actually need to look at my spreadsheets and add the additional things that I bought over the last weekend to make sure that I am up to date. One thing I will say about Nakia Joy. So I did an order from them for Black Friday. Like I said, I ordered more of my loose powders. And I ordered some brushes because everything was like 40% off, and I actually really do enjoy the eye brushes from Nakia Joy. So I ordered 2 more brushes. Well, in my package, I was missing a brush, and I sent a message to their team, and bless it, they messaged me back on Thanksgiving, and I know that her brand is Australian, so, but the warehouse is in Texas. So they messaged me back on Thanksgiving, you know, we're so sorry for the mix up. We'll send it right out. Like, I had a tracking number for the brush within like an hour. They're like, hey, can you send us a picture of the stuff just so we can track down in the warehouse how this mistake happened? Again, we're so sorry, blah, blah. And my brush is actually coming in today. So between me getting my package last Wednesday, messaging them, hearing back on Thursday. My replacement brush is in my mailbox probably right now. So the customer service at Nikia Joy is fabulous. Now, I'm not necessarily, like I said, I bought this powder last year. So I'm not going to go on there and be like, hey, your powder's burning me. Please refund my money, because I don't know what's going on with that. But it is one of those things that when you work with a brand, not work with a brand, when you order from a brand, when you purchase from a brand, when I hype up a brand, I hope that their customer service is good. And I will say that Nikia Joy Cosmetics, her customer service is fabulous. So that is my 2 cents. After, again, this doesn't work for me right now. I have to figure that out. That doesn't mean that the other products from them aren't my holy grails. And also, I really do appreciate and respect how her customer service handles things. So wanted to put that out there, that I'm not dragging a brand just because a product doesn't work on my skin or work for me. Putting that out there. So I've been wearing a lot of these shirts. I'm going to ramble now because I'm only at 40 minutes, because bless it, you guys need like 45-minute videos from me. Duh. I've been wearing a lot of these shirts. So I got hooked on a ad that I saw on Pinterest, and it kept popping up, and I was like, fine, I'll look at your products. I clicked in there and I was like, who in their right mind would buy stuff this expensive? This is stupid. Well, I was stupid and I bought stuff from them, and it has now become my favorite underwear, my favorite bra, like loungy bras, like my favorite like loungy shirts. I placed another order during Black Friday. I think in the past month, I have placed 4 orders. 4 with this company. So I am very much enjoying. So the actual brand is called Negative. And again, they don't know who I am. I bought all of this myself. I was forced the ad on Pinterest. Like I said, I have placed 4 orders on my own at pretty much full price. And that's saying a lot for me. But I don't know if they're necessarily supposed to be like a Skims dupe, because I've never tried Skims, and really a dupe that is that expensive, not really a dupe, I don't think. But their stuff is so comfortable, and I think they're almost called Negative because it feels like you're wearing nothing. So I don't like sleeping in bras. Like I'm the person that as soon as I get home from work, I want that thing off of me. I accidentally slept in one of their bras the other night, and I woke up in the morning and like I started to like get undressed for the day, and I was like, I still have a bra on. How did that happen? How did I fall asleep in that? And it was literally because it felt like I was wearing nothing. It is incredible. So I also, since I started loving wearing bike shorts at the beginning of the summer, I've actually gotten to the point with some pants that I will wear bike shorts as underwear, as kind of like almost like boxers, like women's boxers. And Negative has a women's boxer type of cut, but it's not like a heavy boxer with like a thick waistband that's going to cut into you and create weird lines. It literally feels and looks like you are wearing nothing. Like there's no lines, no nothing, no pinching in, but everything fits really good over you. And so I ordered 1 pair of boxers from them, and in the order that's coming in, I have 2 more pairs of boxers coming in because I want to just live in this stuff. I ordered another one of these shirts, so now I have 4 of them because I want to have one for every single day of the week, basically. I am so impressed. Now, again, they're expensive, but if I'm talking about favorites, this would definitely go on a yearly favorites type of thing. Now, again, I have to see what the longevity of these products are, but so far I have been impressed. So, again, not sponsored. They don't know who I am. I've placed my own orders. I've spent my own money, a lot of it, but I've spent my own money on this stuff. But I am loving it. So I never thought that I would be like the expensive underwear loungy girly, but apparently 41 years old is my time. My time to be comfortable in my underwear. So that is all I have now that I've rambled. See, now you guys get a 45-minute video. Good for you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go. That is all I have. I do appreciate all of you guys. I'm going to encourage you to do all of the YouTube things. Go ahead and hit a thumbs up on this video if you guys are liking my content. If you are new or lurking, apart from the like 100 of you that have joined me in the past 48 hours, which again still blows my mind, if you are new or lurking and I kind of seem like a vibe that you would like, along with my puppy dogs, I do conscious consumerism, project panning, using what you have. I have a beauty budget. I do psychobabble rants about life and what I have learned over my 41 years going around on this rock we call Earth. And then I also do have 4 German Shepherds, and so my puppy dogs will pop in from time to time for cameos as well. But yeah, if this seems cool or interesting for you guys, hit that subscribe button. Stick around for more. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you guys are. Let me know what your favorite thing so far that you have purchased for Black Friday, or if you purchased nothing for Black Friday. Let me know that too, because I'm very interested to see how many of you guys were shopping and how many of you guys were not shopping. But obviously Washburn is asking for my attention, so I'm going to go do that. But I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. I'm going to wish all of you guys a beautiful day, and we will catch you in my next one.